Okay, everyone, obviously you know me, I'm Dan Lawless, but I'm joined here by Matt Lawless, aka Matchroom Matty, my cousin Matt, not my brother, what some people think. My cousin Matty, good to see you, mate. It's been a while since I've had you on it.
Yeah, I've not done one for ages. I mean,
Yeah.
years, mate. I'm talking years. We haven't
Yeah.
done anything. So, yeah, you've obviously got me in because you couldn't get Jamie Carragher today. So,
Yeah, well, do you know what, actually? You could Timu Jamie Carragher. I think you could pass him.
yeah.
It's the same goal.
No. He's a good bloke. I'm not saying that I'm not, but anyway. But listen, we couldn't get your head through the door after your overlap appearance.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
fucking hell, you haven't stopped going on about it.
Oh, leave it out.
All your, leaking all the contract details of the players. Absolutely shameful stuff.
I know. Freddie,
Shameful.
Matt's son, showed me some TikTok where I was getting slated, right? I'm getting slated over this
I just want to know how you've got all these information. Like, how do you know that what he's taking home? What's that all about?
Oh, listen,
Have you got inside knowledge at the club?
Sullivan pays me a wage, didn't he? Like, no, but with that, Nicky done a video first, right?
Yeah.
He reported that. So no one even questioned. By the way, Nicky said it. No one questioned it. No one gave him all the stick. Or
He's
whatever.
like an oracle.
Yeah, he says it. So yeah, like in my mind, that's stuck in my head. Now I'm in mid-flow. I didn't even mean to talk about that. It come out, and it just come out. Now
I think you were just nervous because you're in a big setting, it's your debut, you've got Paul Scholes, you've got Jamie Carragher, and your head fell off. You're like, I need to say something. I need a bit of clickbait. You got it, didn't you? You got it.
I think what is conflated is there's a report. Because I look back and I was like, I'm sure it's like, what do they call it? Mandela effect or something? I'm looking back for this report and I'm like, no, there must be a fucking thing. And what I think he's conflated was his wages are 90 to 95% based on appearance, right?
Okay.
So 90% plus of his wages.
How do we know that, though?
Well, no, this is it. No, we don't know any of it. Now, they're reporting $6,000 minimum. I don't think I think he's getting paid more than that. I think the club
had gone there for silly wages. Come on.
So
but he's gone there. They've obviously there's a deal to be done.
Yeah.
They've seen an opportunity. And look, I just want to say I don't think he's the right signing, but prepare to give him a chance. I hope he can get fit. We know that when he's fit, he can score goals in the Premier League. He's a fantastic player, but he's also 33. He's also missed 29 games for injury last season.
Yeah.
So I'm on that kind of wavelength in terms of, for me, it's not a progressive signing. However, it's the type of signing I think, well, why not go for him? Let's see what he can bring to the squad. What can he bring to the dressing room? That's what I want to see. And I think that's a critical point because we've lost the likes of Cresswell's, who's a big leader in the dressing room.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of a hole there. And I think what I've seen this summer particularly, there has been a bit of camaraderie. Certainly I know that we're seeing the stuff that we want to be shown, but I do believe that's genuine, and I do believe someone like Callum Wilson, even though he's certainly had a lot to say about us, whether it's in jest or not in the past, I do think there's been a goal down in the Community Shield, and it's 2-2.
2-2, Crystal Palace.
Anyway, but my point is that, look, let bygones be bygones. Let's just judge him on the pitch. I don't care whether he gets $3,000 a week or $300,000. If he scores goals for West Ham United Football Club, I'm happy.
Yeah, listen, that's what matters at the end of the day. My big issue with it, I mean, look, I have an issue in terms of the age and the injury. That's my big. We're supposed to be trying to go in a progressive way, bring the age down, whatever. He's here now. My big thing was who was behind the signing, which was Sullivan and Salthouse. I want to go in one direction, one vision, and it should be Potter and McCauley, right? So that was my big problem with it, is we're just doing the same thing where Sullivan's throwing in some players. Oh, you can have a player, and you can have a player. It's like Oprah. You get a player, you get a player, you get a player.
I understand that point too. However, what you also have to remember is that we've had quite a high turnover of managers, and with these managers, obviously without Moyes, I'm not talking about Moyes here, but we've trusted certain managers to bring in their own signings, and they haven't worked. Yeah. So someone like Callum Wilson, yes, it might have been a cosy arrangement, if you like, but it works to a degree, right? Because it's someone who's come in. Potter wouldn't have just allowed that to happen. He would have been involved in that. He would have given it the thumbs up. The manager always gets the say. The head coach will always get the say on selection. Certainly should do. Whether that is the case at some clubs, maybe not. But I do believe that is the case at West Ham. And I do believe Graham Potter would have looked at someone like Callum Wilson and gone, actually, all right, he might not start, but he's definitely a squad player for us, and it might be that he helps some of the younger players come along, like Callum Marshall. I hope we don't see him go out alone. I hope that we see him, make an impact from the bench and things like that, because we need that. Whereas that's where I think Callum Wilson's coming on a 1-year deal, and it's like, listen, we've got nothing to lose here. And I know we could have kept hold of Danny Ings, but let's be honest, Danny Ings wasn't pulling up trees. He tried, he came on, it just wasn't happening for him, unfortunately. Mikel Antonio, I love the guy, but I think the timing would have been right this season, irrespective of, his comeback, which is remarkable, by the way, from a car crash. But it's time for him to move on. The pasture's new. Whether he stays in the game or, he goes on and does football country like we see today, he's on TNT. So good luck to him. But I do think that with Callum Wilson, there's still a point to prove. And I do think that there's a player there.
Yeah, well, no, listen. I'm all for giving him a chance. Some people think that's me getting behind Sullivan, which isn't true. I just want my team to perform.
It's nothing to do with the ownership. It's just all about the team, the performance. We just want West Ham to do well.
We've got him now. My biggest, what you touched on something there. I wanted to go. You said about, we've trusted managers in the past to get players in. This is why I wanted a director of football. If you don't like Steidton, it don't have to be Steidton. It'd be someone else. But one vision that oversees the football project, right? This is the style of play. These are the players. We get the manager to fit these players. Well, this manager ain't working out. Get him out. Get someone similar profile. And then there's no restart. It just seems like, and this is what I'm worried about, is if Potter don't work out, and that's why I really want him to work, because we're then starting from scratch, rip it all up, get Potter players out, get new players, and it's just...
There's always that danger, but I think if you look at Macaulay, Chelsea did not want him to leave the football club.
Yeah.
We had to pay serious compensation to get him to West Ham United, and he was highly sought after. I do believe that he's there. I know that he's obviously had a long-standing history with Graham Potter, but I do believe he'll be there for the foreseeable. I think he's got a long time at West Ham, I hope. Anyway, and he, for me, is that recruitment role is pivotal, because he's effectively leading the scouting division. And he's the key link between the manager and the chairman.
The problem is,
who we go after him.
If Potter goes, he goes. That's the problem. He goes wherever Potter goes. That's what he did.
At some point, yes, but I think he stuck around at Chelsea for 18 months after. Maybe that was because of the arrangement of Potter being on gardening leave or whatever.
Yeah, but he didn't have I think he might as well have stayed in his job until Potter got a new one. So he will stay until Potter is managing somewhere else.
We'll see. And I think, look, they've obviously made their own signings already, in the likes of, Juve, who's come in, the left back, looks fantastic. And Hermansen, the goalkeeper.
Listen,
shout out to Jack Holmes on the Leicester Big Strong Boys podcast. He messaged me earlier and said he was our best player last season until he got injured. What a fantastic goalkeeper we've signed. So that's really refreshing, and I hope that he throws them straight in. And I know you can see from this pre-season we're looking like we want to play from the back, and can he play with his feet? I think so. But £18 million for a keeper, for me, it's always been that position, Dan, where I've always questioned, why haven't we invested heavily in a proper goalkeeper? See, most of the big teams who've done it have gone on and had success. That said, I've got to say, Fabianski for me would rate in my top 3 goalkeepers in my generation of Sport West Ham. I'm going back, obviously, Ludo, Rob Green, I think, definitely worthy, and then Fabianski for me, probably the top 3. And I would have actually, I think similar with Antonio, the time was right for Fabianski to move on. But we was always hopeful that Areola might kick on and cement that number 1 shirt. He just hasn't done it, and he looks like he's too nervous at times. Saved 2 good penalties yesterday, but his performance still isn't great.
I think the Hermansen signing could be the kick up the arse he needs, because last season, mate, he won us points. Without a doubt, like his performances, Man United at home, like some of them games, like the saves he was pulling off.
He's a good keeper. He's a France international. But if we're judging him on recent performances, there has been a few times where we're like, And I think with, like you're saying, someone there to challenge him will bring the best out of him. We saw that actually the Europa League seasons, the Europa Conference League seasons, where we're competing in Europe and we were rotating the keepers. And again, that comes down to competition. You need it up front, you need it in defence, you need it in goalkeeping department. So I'm pleased that we brought him on. And obviously, Casper Ankaran, who's the new goalkeeping coach, has really sort of put his flag in the ground with that one and said, we want to sign him. You know, he
Yeah.
wants to work him. So I think that's a really exciting addition.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, to get him for 15 mil plus, I think 2.5 in add-ons is crazy. When they wanted 30.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
a great bit of business.
my understanding was personal terms were, I think we were there weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, he's always wanted to come to London with his family. I think he loved his time at Leicester, but, you know, the opportunity to play in the Premier League again was one he couldn't really turn down. And obviously the stumbling point was the fee with the club. And Leicester, don't forget, have got their own kind of PSR issues. So they were trying to push for as much as they could get. But I think this is a fair deal on balance. And, you know, it's, like I say, it's a signing we need to make.
Yeah, 100%. The only thing I'm worried about, he seems to have problem when it comes to set pieces, aerial aspects. I hope that can be, obviously, use a goalkeeper yourself, right? I'm hoping that could
Vertically
be
challenged, unfortunately.
Vertically challenged.
So
Yeah,
I
well,
struggle
so
with set pieces.
Pickford, though. Yeah, Pickford's another one.
But no, look, I think what you've got to remember as well, he's 25 years old. And keepers do mature as they get older, and I think we'll see a good goalkeeper there for many years to come. So I'm not sure what the length of contract is, but I'm sure it's multi-year. And like I say, I think it's a really critical signing.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, just talking about the transfer window, you know, we was talking about it on the balance of things so far, because I don't think, like you said, I know you want Hermansen to come in straight away. I think Sunderland, Areola's in goal. I really think that. And as it stands, the youth is the only first choice player we've signed.
That's right, yeah. And then obviously you've got players coming back, so that is a concern for me slightly. You know, there are players there that come in. So like Freddie Potts is a really great addition, I think. Someone who's got that youthful energy. Agward looks really solid. I mean, people are forgetting that actually Agward was, and still is probably in this window, sought after. Like you're talking about, there was reports of Real Madrid who were keen on him. Obviously, I think they've moved on now because they've got the lad in from Bournemouth, the young lad, the Spanish centre-half. Hoyson, I think is the centre office. So they're covered there, but other big European clubs circling around him. But it's good to have him back in. My concern, Dan, as everyone's concerned, is there's not a lot of energy in that midfield. And what concerns me with it is we're trying to be a ball-playing side. So we've got 3 ball-playing centre-halves, you know, in a back 5 with progressive wing-backs. But in the middle, it seems to fall down slightly because what we need... I mean, I'm stating the bloody obvious here, but we need a box-to-box player, don't we? Or someone who's creative enough to pick it in. Whether Paquetá plays in that 10 position, we'll see, but I still feel like we're light on legs.
Yeah, no, listen, mate, everyone's been saying it. It's glaringly obvious, and I hope so. We're linked with that Fernandez from Southampton. Obviously, I don't think Ramsey's happening now because they're giving him a new deal. So hopefully we bloody... Oh, I was just going to throw that at me.
There we go, a little helpers.
There we go. Ooh. Yeah. He's family barbecue, everyone. Shout out to my cousin, our cousin Hannah, 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Hannah. But yeah, you're right. Definitely the energy in the legs in the midfield is key.
It's important because Fulcrum can score goals, but he needs service. And yesterday we saw a prime example of actually when you do press from the front, like Bowen did, we can create opportunities for him and he'll score. I mean, he's been electric in pre-season.
Yeah, he is.
But don't expect him to be busting his nut off and hunting down players. That's not his style.
His back's not strong enough to carry us for another season like he did last season.
But we need... You know, we need pace, and hopefully the injection will come with Somerville and Lerme. But
we was just watching Palace and Liverpool, right? Yeah. And with the pace that they've got, and we were saying this, like it's been years since we've got to see that at West Ham.
I think we're going back to like Saka and
Saka and Valencia.
Valencia, you know, and then obviously in the midfield, you have some big players in the midfield.
Probably Lingard was the last real direct.
Yeah, I'd like to see a ball carrier.
Yeah, exactly. Someone who can drive forward quickly, run with the ball.
Because what troubles me is like the centre halves are picking the ball up from inside the 6-yard box from goal kicks, and we're putting ourselves under pressure because we haven't really got anyone who can cover that ground. Whereas I want to see someone receive the ball and be able to turn or take it forward, carry it, and then play in our wingers or whatever. But at the minute, it's looking a bit fragile, and I think we'll get punished in the Premier League with that if we continue in the way we are.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hopefully I'm wrong.
No, listen, I'm not confident with the midfield we've got. There's some positive signs there, but get some bloody legs in this team. I know we've got Somerville to come back. I'm not a big fan of, we talked about this in there, about playing the 5-3-2 every game. We talked about that. It seems like that could be the case. Like Sunderland, we're going to see 5-3-2. And I just look at, he doesn't, and the thing is, what worries me as well, with his subs so far, they've been very like for like. No real, right, we're going to change the system, we're going to go direct, we're going to do this. It seems to be just like for like subs.
Yeah.
And that's the concern, is to not be able to go, right, we're going to go forward and back now. When we're trailing, stick an extra man in midfield or stick an extra man in attack.
I don't mind the 5 at the back, if I'm being honest. I think what he's trying to do is pick his best team and the best players that are available to him. And I think at the moment, if I was the manager, I'd probably think that, I think it gives us a little bit more protection. But my issue again is it's just someone who can receive the ball and carry it. Hopefully, it could be Potts, but I still think it's early days for him. He's not played in the Premier League. It's a big step up. So we still need someone who's going to be able to offer that outlet to those 3 at the back.
Yeah, no, that's it. Listen, hopefully we can make some sales. Rodriguez, he played him in the behind closed doors friendly. Guilherme scored. We talked about pace. Guilherme's there. He had a brilliant cameo against Everton, and then we didn't see him again.
I love his character. A lot of things that I'm hearing, like he's had the opportunity, he could have gone back to Brazil, but he's desperate to prove himself, and I love that. And I think if we're patient, we might see a good player come to the fore there.
I honestly think we will. He needs minutes. Last season, he was coming on at like the 85th minute. He's not going to do anything there. It's a waste of time. So get him on early. I'm not saying he has to start every week, but get him on at the 65th minute, the 70th minute at least. Let him be able to get into the game. And he's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And if we can keep Somerville fit, he'll be exciting to watch.
I think the role of the impact sub is something that is really starting to become popular for most teams now. And I think someone like him would be ideal for us. I don't think he's ready to start. I wouldn't personally start him over anyone in that 11 at the moment. But as an impact sub to come on for, like you say, 25, 30 minutes against tired legs could be a really a massive plus point for us. We saw it against, Bournemouth, again, pre-season friendly, but the wingers they introduced second half were running us ragged a little bit. So there's definitely pace in other Premier League teams. That's why, for me, it is important that we add that to our squad.
Yeah. Speaking of tired legs, we've been travelling around the world in Matchroom. Transitions.
Yeah, I love that. Good segue.
Yeah, good segue. You've been travelling around the world with Matchroom. Smashing it.
Well, we've got an event in Sunderland actually, but sadly it's a few weeks away. So Sunderland, September the 6th.
Sunderland, yeah? That would have been good if it was near West Ham. Who's fighting?
I know, so we've got Pat McCormack, Team GB Olympian from the Tokyo Games, and he's fighting Miguel Parra, fantastic little fighter. He's doing well. I think he'll be in a world title picture at some point soon. But yes, it's a shame that we're not there next weekend. Because I would have gone to the game as well.
Mate, can you imagine the West Ham out there away at Sunderland and watching the boxing?
Would have been perfect.
You've got a lot of West Ham fighters on the card now.
Yeah, Matchroom's blessed actually. We've got, and I say that because I'm a West Ham fan, but. Yeah, we're really pleased. We've got young George Liddard, who's looking fantastic. He's fighting for the British and Commonwealth title middleweight championship at York Hall on October 17th, live on the zone. So that's a great little fight against Kieran Conway, who's the champion. Tough fight for George, probably his toughest test yet. But George, he'll be familiar to a lot of West Ham fans. He's been over at the club, and the club have been brilliant with him actually. So yeah, thank you to the club, all those that have helped push him there. And obviously one of the biggest fights involving a West Ham fan is Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Junior 2 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, November the 15th. Conor was at the London Stadium yesterday with another young fighter, young Conor Mitchell. West Ham fans might know his dad. Kevin, of course, fought at Upton Park many times, but he fought there once, lost to Katsidis sadly, but he's a bit of a West Ham legend for me, Kevin. I think there was a period where our fan base really resonated with him and came to a lot of his fights, and we've seen that with like George. He's got the West Ham fans behind him. Jimmy Sains as well, another hammer. There's a few there. It's good to see.
Yeah, we love it. That's what we love. It's the West Ham family. And the West Ham, what I like, they get out, they show support. With one like Kevin Mitchell, you talk about back in the day, everyone turned out to support him because he's one of our own. And I think it'll be the same like with his boy and Conor Ben and everyone.
Well, it's great. I think with Conor Ben, like Conor won't profess to know what the tactics are and who should be in the starting 11, but he does support the club and I think certainly the Sullivan family have been brilliant with him, getting him to games and also sending him a shirt for his fight, which was brilliant. So we had that in the dressing room up in Spurs. That was quite
Nice.
So yeah, a little touch that I don't think a lot of people would have seen behind the scenes and on the camera, but certainly behind the scenes there was a big West Ham connection.
Yeah, that's what we want. Now we just need to go and get a West Ham win in the Spurs stadium.
Be great, wouldn't it?
Like, we love to see it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We were the first team to win there, and hopefully, in the boxing.
It's going to be an exciting build-up. It's a brilliant fight. I think 70,000 fans were expecting for that, and obviously the first fight was remarkable, probably the fight of the year. So exciting times, and obviously that will be in association with Riyadh Season and Ring Magazine, who have been brilliant with boxing at the moment.
Yeah,
so
you've been over there, mate. I mean, I haven't been over there. It must be a whole different life over there. Like,
I love going to Saudi Arabia, genuinely. I've had nothing but positive experiences, and you see a lot of footballers looking at going there now, and obviously financially it's definitely an incentive, but yeah, I think as a country it's certainly developing so fast, and it's great to see, and the people are very friendly.
That's all you can ask.
They've got the World Cup coming over there soon as well, I think 2030. So
have they?
It's exciting times for the Saudis.
We have another winter one though, won't we? It's gonna be another winter.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean it's very hot there. I was there a couple of weeks ago and it was 45 degrees. So.
Mate, I don't know how you do it, mate. I don't know. That's my kryptonite. You know, I really don't doing that. But yeah, mate. Like, you're smashing it, and Matchroom smashing it. Like I said, so it's good to see. Like, you're always bloody jet setting, and you and Eddie.
It's just good to try and get to some games. You know, I've still renewed my season ticket. I was one of the few that did.
Yeah.
But I love going over West Ham. I love seeing everyone over there. Me and my son go. Obviously, he's playing football now, so might not be able to go to every game, but
he's coming up in the world. I'm telling you,
keep an eye out for
Freddie Lawless.
Yeah, but I actually think, Dan, it's good that we're away from home first game of the season.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I actually thought yesterday we had a healthy crowd over there for a pre-season game. I think it was 24,000.
Yeah, they didn't sell the tops. No, they cut them off.
Sensible, like very sensible, because it looked like it was busy, and I thought that was impressive. And I think the team needs that in a minute. They do need us behind it. We're going to need to be patient. I don't think we're going to, we won't be on it straight away, but I don't think we're going to, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not expecting us to light the league up, but I'm also expecting this to be another transitional season for us where hopefully it will lead to better things. And for me, success would be, a decent push in the league, but the cup runs, they're crucial to me. Carabao Cup, we've seen what Newcastle, enjoyed from it, and for me that would be incredible. FA Cup has always been the cup that I'd want to win more than anything as a fan.
My expectations for Lopetegui were low, and he didn't even meet them. It was not being a relegation battle. He didn't meet those expectations. It was play youngsters, didn't meet those expectations. Play a good football or better football, did not meet those expectations. Not one. So Potter, I'm giving the same. Meet those. I want to see. I'm not saying we have to play like prime Barcelona, tick-tack, silky. I just want to see us be a bit more direct, a bit quicker, pacier players. None of this passing sideways, backwards bollocks. Get that out of the way. Bring some more youngsters through, and no relegation battle.
But all of those things, I would say the evidence is there that he's certainly trying to do that.
Yeah.
Certainly in pre-season, I've seen some great passages of play where I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. Yes. Few and far between, but we're not quite Arsenal, we're not quite Liverpool yet, So it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the players that are there to get used to that style of football. They haven't played that style of football in the last 4 or 5 years, have they? So it's like we have to be accustomed to growing together. And I hope that, like I say, I think Sunderland for me, I know a lot of people are newly promoted, so it's going to be a difficult one. I actually think that's a great fixture, first game away. I think the pressure's off of us in terms of going away from home, whereas if we're at home and we're not 1-0 up after 10 minutes, it turns and they grow in confidence. So away from home, I was at the Ipswich game last season, and again it was a bit of a slow start, but we absolutely bossed it, and we got the result we deserved. And I expect we'll do well this Sunday. I think we'll win 2-0. And that will carry confidence over to the Friday night game against Chelsea, which is very tough. And I'll take a point all day long.
Mate, yeah, they're looking sharp.
They'll be good. I think they'll be challenging for the league. I don't think they'll win the league, but I certainly think they'll be up there.
They'll be up there, yeah. They look like, well, João Pedro's looking like an unbelievable side. And then Esteval looks like he could be the next big thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I think on balance, Dan, transfer window-wise, I'd say relatively pleased at the minute. I think that there's still a few weeks to go with the window shutting.
We know most of the activity happens in the last week of the window.
Yeah,
that's when it...
What you got to remember, a club like West Ham, is we're waiting for other pieces of the jigsaw to fall into place for the bigger teams, who then go, actually, we don't need these players, we're going to move them on. So I do see a few late loan deals happening. I do think we'll get 2 more midfielders in at least, and there's a possibility that we'll get an attacking player, like not a striker but a winger.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a successful window for West Ham. So, bit of patience, but it would be great to get towards the end of the month and be on at least 4 points.
Yeah, mate.
In terms of the first 2 games.
I snatch your hand. Well, even the first, you look at the Forest away as well, like end of the month.
Yeah.
Mate, I snatched your hand for 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Forest, weren't we? And
they've had a terrible pre-season.
Not that we can read too much into that, but, you know, I think they've had a bit of upheaval with, obviously, the Gibbs-White situation where is he going, is he staying?
They lost Elanga.
Lost Elanga, who's, for me, fantastic player for them, and he'll do well at Newcastle.
Yeah, I don't know if they've really strengthened either. They've scored 1 goal in pre-season. So, listen, between now and then, things could be different. They could get players in. So
I think they will. They've been aggressive in the market in years gone by, and obviously they've got European football still waiting to find out if they're in the European League or the Conference. So that would also have an impact on their signings in terms of who they can bring in because of the rules. And
100%.
So I think getting Forest at the end of the month is a good thing for us.
Yeah. Listen, mate, fingers crossed we have a good season because me and you were sitting together standing together last, and we know how painful it was.
Stay positive.
Stay positive. See, look, it's the positive Lawless. Everyone says I'm the negative Lawless. He balances me out. See, so that's why I brought him on. But listen, it's great to have you on.
Pleasure.
And we're going to keep up with you and all the guys on at Matchroom.
Yeah, definitely. Follow us at Matchroom Boxing. I don't do interviews, mate, because I'll get hammered for this, I will. They'll be like, look at him, he's big time, he's doing his own player. So I don't want to talk about boxing, but listen, hopefully I'll be back on. I love talking about West Ham, but for me, look, I've been privileged over the years when I was a journalist. I'm not a journalist anymore. I'm in communications now. You do have a different appreciation for what goes on the inside, and I think for me, I can see there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes at West Ham. Yeah. And there are a lot of good people there. So I'd like to give them all the benefit of the doubt. And I think, I'm hopeful it'll be a good season. Yeah, no, that's it. And listen, I'll say, go check out Matchroom Boxing. People come on here, they give us their time. The least we can do is promote and support each other. So, go check out Matchroom Boxing and check out the fights coming up and support the Hammers that are going into the boxing ring. George Liddard, tickets are on sale tomorrow for York Hall.
Yeah.
October the 17th, Friday night at York Hall, the iconic York Hall, be incredible there. And then obviously Conor Ben, November the 15th. We're waiting for tickets to come out on that one, but I'm sure we'll get many West Ham fans at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Nice. Brilliant. So go check it out and we'll look out for the rest of the videos. One thing left to say, come on you irons.